Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a camera piece for a little while. Essentially, I just wanted to avoid the trap of making all my videos to camera pieces, because that's not really what I wanted my channel to be about. But having said that, there is something that I specifically wanted to discuss today, which, as you will see from the title, is the David Goggins book, which I believe is about 10 years old. I definitely should have looked this up before I started this video. One second. So it's called Can't Hurt Me, and essentially, like, it's the story of how it 2018. There you go, 2018. So good research on my part there. Yeah, so it's called Can't Hurt Me, and he's essentially like an ex-SEALs member. He did a lot of work with them, and he also did some promotional work because then he was quite active in like promoting people coming into SEALs, and also he was doing like specific like physical fitness challenges, like he was doing a lot of ultra marathons, and he was doing like, you know, these pull-up challenges and things. So first off, okay, I know that there are a hell of a lot of people that absolutely love David Goggins. So I mean, look at me, I'm an absolutely tiny channel, so please don't kill me, you know, with the comments below. Obviously, like, I'm happy to have a discussion, but there are good points about him and there are bad points about him. So the good point is like saying that you are kind of like motivated enough to get out there, do something every day, keep your goals in mind, keep fighting forward, don't let yourself get lax and let time pass and kind of like you're not the version of yourself you want to become. That's absolutely great. And obviously, like, his kind of routine in itself, you know, he's actually doing these things, he's actually getting out every day and doing kind of what he wants to do, which is good. And it is interesting, actually, especially I found the bits, not so much about the kind of Hell Week, because there is a lot written about that already, so there wasn't anything specifically that I hadn't already seen in like other publications or like other media. But talking more about like how he found the ultra marathons. I know there's probably a lot of stuff out there about that as well, but I hadn't read so much about that. The sheer fatigue, confusion, hitting the wall, just completely running out of anything else left to give, and races where you had to navigate and like the difficulty of that. You know, the triathlon where he was saying that his bike broke and he had to like either repair it or use his like kind of poor like backup bike. And I just found that all really interesting, because I used to do, like, nothing to that degree, but I used to do some smaller events, you know, up to like 20 miles or something like that, and I did find that kind of interesting, how he like managed his fatigue and all that kind of thing. As well, you know, as well as it being quite interesting, the book is actually like a good flow, like good to read, and I finished it in like 2 days, which, considering I literally seem to just have my days filled up with 1,000 things, you know, instead of like doing social media and stuff like that, I actually thought, you know what, I'm just gonna like sit in the sun and read this book. And every time I put it down and thought like, okay, that's enough, like I'll leave a bit for tomorrow, and then I was like, no, I actually want to go back and read some more. So it was really well written. Obviously, I know he's had some help. It literally mentions in the book that he had help to write it, and that was like his 7th iteration or something like that to write it. But I actually recommend this book as a really good read, but it may be a rage read. It was for me, and the reason it's a rage read for me is because despite the motivation element and the fitness element and all of that being pretty good, you know, and really interesting with like all the different events he's done, there are some elements of David Goggins that I find just ridiculous. So I mean, there's parts in the book where he seems like he's being quite inconsiderate. Hopefully that's something that's changed with age, and maybe he's become a bit more considerate. But, you know, there's parts where he's like, oh, I really wanted to like know the results of my exam, so I bugged the guy until like he agreed to give me the results of the exam, and then I like screamed in elation, like whilst other people are already still taking their exams. Pretty selfish. So I was just a bit like, you could, yeah, maybe just wait till you get outside, like that's not ideal. And then the kind of overall ethos of like not just training your body, not making your body stronger, because that's amazing. Like, I mean, I'm trying to do that to the best of my abilities and to my limitations, but he's to the point of like, let's just go, let's just punish your body, let's just, you know, I'm running on broken legs, I collapsed in the shower and shit out a kidney, you know, it's just, why? You're not making your body healthier. Like, and it seems to be a sort of misplaced sense of like, I'm so tough, everyone will think I'm so tough and amazing. And I get that everybody wants like a little bit of validation and they want, you know, other people to think they're great, but I can't imagine a point where, I mean, I'm very antisocial, but I really can't imagine a point where social approval would lead me towards actually destroying my body and being almost proud that I'd done it. You know, he's mentioning the other thing that he mentioned, as well as like he had like fractures from like constant running and like doing races without preparing. He also mentioned that he did this pull-up challenge. He tried 3 times, he did it on the 3rd try, and the main thing that happened was his hands were just getting I've got a tiny tear from climbing, nothing the same. Basically his hands were just getting completely torn up by this pull-up challenge, and you know, the first time it was on like this morning and it was like a big deal. He didn't manage to do it, and then the second time he didn't manage to do it either because his hands were just getting completely shredded, to the point where it was going down, literally tearing down to the nerves. And like, so he's mentioning like in quite visceral detail, which makes it interesting, about how his hands are getting totally fucking ruined and affecting his training for months to come. But then he's also like, yeah, none of you would have done it, like, because I'm so tough. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have done, because the ethos of destroying your body for kudos now, I'm not saying he's doing it for kudos from other people, it seems a bit like he is, but I can't know for sure. He claims he's doing it just for kudos from himself. I can't imagine a point where my kudos from myself would need me to break my own bones, run untrained to a point of shitting out blood, or tear up my hands to like the nerves and bones. Like, it just seems bizarre to me. This is not like by any means a sort of unique perspective that I'm bringing here, but I just wanted to bring, because I was literally rage reading it and finished it at like 9:30 last night, and it was just so annoying. People, like, if you look on his Instagram, like I double checked his Instagram and like some of his training videos online, there's always people saying like, why destroy yourself? You're, you know, 48 now, and that's going to have an effect later. You're going to kind of be in a lot of pain and stuff when you get older. And obviously I hope that's not the case, but I think he's not really helping himself. At the very tail end of the book, he does say that he's essentially sort of found the wisdom of stretching. So he was doing all this exercise for years and years without any proper stretching. He was so tight from not ever stretching at all that he ended up with like kind of like lots of like locked up muscles, like iron bars, I think he says. I know what that's like a little bit, but obviously nowhere near to the same degree, and he's only just discovered like the benefit of stretching. And like, to be fair, that was in the book, that was in 2018, so obviously he's going to have kept on doing it to this point as well, and now he's going to continue on doing that, which is good. It sounds like he's maybe bringing a bit more cross training into what he's doing, and like actually finding the benefit of like proper rest days. You know, a day of yoga rather than a day with like a fucking marathon, maybe. But I hope that it's not too little too late, but I wonder if it might be because he spent a lot of time just going much harder than he needed to. In my opinion, obviously this is all my opinion, and he even said like his point was not even to get fit. His point was to build himself up to more tolerance to suffering so that he could be comfortable in whatever uncomfortable situation arose. That's written in the book. Yeah, so this is a very unstructured rambling about David Goggins, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there. It's, yes, almost certainly going to get drowned out by the 8 or 9 million followers that David Goggins had, but I just thought it was kind of an interesting stance from the point of like fitness and injury prevention, because that is now very much what I'm trying to balance in my day-to-day fitness and life. So yeah, that's it. Please recommend any more like kind of like fitness or motivational adventure type books. I'm definitely getting a little bit more back into reading now that my life has calmed down very slightly, and I would love to hear your recommendations. There'll be more adventure soon. We're going caving in September, so look forward to a video on that. And yeah, follow my Instagram as well. It's no obstacle. I'm going to put it up on the down here on the screen here. And thanks again for watching, and hope to see you soon.